Ron.
I need to, well, I'm getting feedback through Discord. I think Dave isn't muted, so it's kind of annoying. So anyway, I had kind of a busy day today. First thing is I had gotten a delivery from Amazon. They have an Amazon box here, but I guess I wasn't signed up with it correctly. And so they didn't give me a code number. They put the package in the box. So then I went down to the office and there wasn't anybody there. They were in some kind of a meeting or something or someplace else on the campus. And so then Joanne said she got an email, and then I got an email, and then I had to download this app, and then I had to put in password and everything, you know how that goes. And then I got it all set, and then they sent me a code number, and I went out to the box. It's a touch screen, like computer screen on the box, and I touched it, and then I put in my keypad, came up with numerical. I put in the number, and then the compartment opened, and lo and behold, there was my Amazon delivery. So I have another one coming tomorrow. I hope it works fine. I don't see any reason now why it won't. And then we had this company help us pack, and so then we had some boxes, and they wanted them back. They had pictures in them and mirrors and stuff. They were special boxes. They wanted them back. So then Joanne had called, and then one of the guys named Avery called and said he was here. And so then I had to go down and open the garage under the building here and let him in and give him the boxes. And then our son came from Eastern Washington. They live in Plain, which is north of Leavenworth, and we had a nice visit with them. And then, then Wade wanted to come over and get a modem or something, and we had the stuff bagged up, but he had been here, but he forgot it when he went home, a few days ago. So he called and said, could he come over? And I said yes. So let me drop it here. And so then everybody wanted to go to lunch at a bistro over here. It's a little cafe in the complex, and so we went. And then my son Ron said, "Well, wasn't your friend Wade coming over?" And oh my golly, I said he was. Well, just then, Wade sent me a text message and said, "I'm standing out front waiting for you to open the door." So then I had to jump in the car and run back over here, and come up and give Wade his modem and stuff, and then go back over and have lunch. So it was kind of a busy morning. So back to net, KD7QKU.
See you, Bob.
Hey guys, I think you should see my hat there and see me in what's left of the sunshine, and that's going to be the end of that because I don't want to look into the sun. I'm going to switch the camera around so you can see my view here out at the beach. By the way, first thing before I forget, I'm not hearing a word from Dave over 2 meters. Fortunately, when he lets off his key, sometimes I hear a little bit, and I heard my name, so I thought, okay, it must be my turn. But I'm not hearing Dave otherwise at all. I did hear all of Ron's transmission, but it was through his video feed, not through 2 meters. At least by the sound of it, it sounded too clear to be through 2 meters. So I am back at this. I'm just fascinated by this. I'm back here where there's this shovel. There's a jacket or a sort of sleeping baggy kind of thing, and just some various things, socks, shirt. There was a flashlight here. I can't tell if it's still here. Somebody's been here because it's not the same as it was when I was here last time I saw a flashlight. Also, I thought I came up here to walk this way to be, so that when I came out here walking, I'd be looking into the sunny side. First thing to notice, this sort of stump with roots was right at the water line when I was out here last. So the tide is out pretty well, and is going out. I can tell it's gone out a little bit since I got here. So yeah, just kind of one of the fun things that things change around here. I actually can see little bits of sea life, lots of barnacles, of course. I still think of Jim and call me Barnacle Bob. I love it. There are mussel shells, clam shells, maybe the occasional scalloped shell. Are those scallops? I'm not sure. Haven't seen any oyster shells, and nothing alive. Just empty shells, like right here. I mean, that thing has it has texture to it. I don't know if that makes it a scallop or not. I think that is scalloped, I think. You see with the smooth water, there is breeze out there, but not right where I am. It's really just beautiful and smooth here. And this, where these birds are here just ahead of me, I don't know how well you can see them. They're poking around on some newly exposed land as the tide goes out, so they're looking for things to eat for sure. A seagull, and I don't know what this little thing is here. I can't zoom this with this app. I'm pretty sure I can't. I wouldn't know how. But it's an interesting little bird. I don't know birds. I know seagulls. There's a seagull. Okay, well, I think I'll let that be good for starters, and I'll have more to report.
K9PQ, thanks with that. There was a little audio delay. Your ATV audio was fine. Then finally it managed to migrate over to 2 meters and finished up on 2 meters, as well as digital television audio. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Kent.
Okay, well, real good, you guys. Boy, a lot of content to start with. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll start with Ron, since he was right out of the box to start with. Geez, man, talk about a busy, you call it a busy morning. How about a busy day? Holy Toledo. I just can't imagine being able to juggle everything you were talking about, Ron. That's very impressive. So anyway, I'm glad you got everything squared away and got your lunch together at the bistro. As for myself, I did the one thing I haven't done in at least 2 years, and I mowed the grass. I literally mowed the front grass. Now, I'll tell you, I had to take a break once in a while, sit down and rest in the shade, but I did pull it off. So I had a busy day. And then Bob, I got your audio on streaming, and then I guess I saw a note from Wade that said he got All-Star connected to 2 meters, so it should be just fine now. I did hear you on 2 meter towards the last half of your report, which is a great report. It just, here I am in dialysis, hooked up to the machine, and then you have this beautiful report. The pictures are just spectacular, and it really makes me feel good. So my headache is just about gone. Thank you for that, Bob. Okay, well, good net so far. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Let's pick up Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL.
All right. Well, there we go. Hold on a sec. I got audio coming in from another radio. There we go. All right. Well, where should we start off? Well, let's start off with today's activities. Well, I went up to, what am I saying? I helped my daughter with her move. She just moved into her first apartment. So spent 2 sessions with her this afternoon, one around lunchtime and then another after work. And we moved couches, boxes, all sorts of items. And got home, did a little relaxing, watched a few episodes of some shows I like. And then went to my favorite pub with my wife and had a little something to eat and a little drink. And then we decided to go down to the waterfront in Tacoma, and I did about a 1.5 mile walk and just got back, and that's kind of what I've been doing. I'll save my second half for the next round. I think I only got 2 rounds in me tonight. I'm pretty tired. I've been working on various things at work and personal and exercise, so I'm going to call this a short net for myself. I'll catch you guys back on the next round. This is W7ITL. Back to net control.
W7ITL, thanks with that. Let's pick up Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, I am receiving the television repeater rather poorly tonight. It is stepping rather badly. All I'm getting are a series of frozen pictures. The last time it was like this was the 11th of March. So not sure what's going on with the repeater. Weather certainly is not a factor. It's absolutely clear where I am. There's no wind, no precipitation. It's nice and warm outside. I'm showing 72 degrees. So I don't know what's going on with the television repeater, but anyway, that's the way it is. Ron, yeah, Amazon delivery. Man, I don't understand why everything's so complicated anymore. It's just very irritating. Things seem to be a pain in the butt. Things which should be simple just aren't as simple as they used to be. I don't know, it gets frustrating after a while. Good to see you. And we caught a glimpse of Joanne in the background there. She's looking okay. Let's see, Bob. Someone said earlier we were not receiving your 2-meter audio at first, so I got virtually nothing from your audio on the first half of your transmission, but then it came through on 2 meters finally. I saw a half dozen pictures or so from you on the television repeater, and I agree with Dick. That was really beautiful. Thanks for going out there. I couldn't see the birds. I wish I could zoom my monitor somehow, but anyway, we got the idea. No problem. Thank you for that. Dick, you mowed the grass. My goodness. Good for you. It sounds like you're doing a whole lot better than you were before. That is excellent. Good to hear that. I just say don't overdo it. You said you took a break during the middle. That's good. I hope you remember to take breaks as you need them. Wade, my goodness, busy day moving, and then to the pub, and then walk along the waterfront. I'd have to throw in the towel about halfway through that. Maybe even less than halfway through that. But that's good. It's good to see you. And what did I do? I don't even remember for sure what all I did. I did a bunch of stuff around the house, got a couple of bills paid, and spent some time on the computer. And, I know, part of the day I was waiting for a fellow to come over to my house to do some work. He was supposed to call before coming. He never called. He never came. So I don't know what happened. It seems like frequently that's the way it is around here. But anyway, back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
And 7QO, thanks with that. Let's go to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can get synchronized here. Stand by.
U7N. Okay, it sounds like audio is coming through on 2 meters okay. And apologies to Ron. I may have been the source of that interference, I'm not sure. I reinstalled the app on my computer, my Windows 10 Pro, so when I'm running on that. And first time something went wrong. I now have a huge error log where the icon should be on my workspace, but so I have to go in and start it manually. But it does seem to be working, but for some reason it was left in transmit mode there, so I'm not quite sure what happened with that. So I just immediately, when I saw it was red, I killed the whole thing, started up again, and let's make sure right now it is green, and I'm on my iPhone XR application. Well, I'm glad, Ron, you worked through the trials and tribulations of Amazon delivery and return of, that's interesting. I've never heard of delivering boxes that they want back again. So that must have been some impressive stuff. Bob, I think what you should do next is start replacing things. I mean, like if you noticed that the flashlight was missing, maybe you should get a disposable flashlight and put it out there exactly in the same place that the other flashlight was, and then note the changes as an experiment. Richard, mowing the grass. That sounds pretty ambitious. I'm glad you got through it okay. I echo Jim's sentiments there. Take plenty of breaks and wear a good respirator. And Wade, that must be quite an accomplishment to get the daughter moved into the new place, or mostly moved into the new place. So congrats on that. I'm going to show you guys what I did here. Moved into the new place, or mostly moved into the new place. So congrats on that. So what I've got here, I'll start at the beginning. This is the Made in China power supply. I think I paid a whopping $100 for it. My goodness, it looks impressive, doesn't it? It looks even more impressive when it's turned on. I found, though, that you pull more than an amp out of it and the regulation starts to really get poor. But if you follow the yellow brick wires, this comes to a 10 megahertz GPS disciplined oscillator, and it just wasn't working, long story short. So I opened it up to see what was inside, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that there did seem to be a little oven here where there's a crystal oscillator, and right here a teeny tiny little GPS receiver and some other support chips. And I noticed ominously, though, I don't know if you can see it from the top here, but there's a couple places, like right here, there's no chip. And so I thought, I've been had. What's supposed to happen is that the GPS signal is supposed to be received, and then it's supposed to discipline this device right here and synchronize it to the satellites. And then it outputs on the front. You can see right here there's a sine wave output, which they accomplish by sending the square wave of this over to a couple little inductors and capacitors. And then on the back, there's a 1 pulse per second output and also a square wave output. Well, it just wasn't working. And I thought, well, I've been had, because the thing I couldn't really locate was the microprocessor that's usually used to do the feedback loop. And I'm assuming that that's hiding somewhere in the electronics right behind the main panel here. It's hiding somewhere in there. Because lo and behold, I was ready to give up on it and say, okay, I've been taken for $60 or $70, but I pulled out the heat gun and didn't really fry anything. I just warmed up this area and this area around here, and I don't know if I warmed up solder or if I just put the little oven here over the top, but all of a sudden, bang, it started working and started tracking very nicely. And how I know that is I was using this device here, which as you can see, we'll see if it boots up so you can see it, but it's a GPS disciplined frequency counter, and it has two inputs here, and of course the GPS signal comes in here. There's also a method of generating an output. So I actually took a picture when it really got good because I was so impressed with how well it was working. The odd thing about it, after I got it all working, I went out and immediately took a walk, and my neighbor had just been trying to move a glass table, and he and his friend reported when they tried to put the glass table down, they didn't drop it or anything. They said it just instantly shattered. So I go, what time? And that was about the time it instantly started working. So I leave it to your imagination. Did my heat gun experiment with a crystal oscillator cause my neighbor's glass table to shatter? I don't know. We should play X-Files music here and figure that out. So that's the report. This is WU7N. Back to net control. Take it away, Dave.
WU7N, thanks with that. Who knows? invaders from space. But anyway, too bad, shattered a glass top. Well, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Well, I was off to Costco today and picked up some of those stuffed green peppers. Gonna have that tomorrow. Anyway, Costco was just wall-to-wall people today. I don't know, maybe people just from the weekend finally got out to decide to go do shopping. So, boy, it was really busy. But anyway, I did pick up some fruit items that were actually not overexposed and dead as usual. You got to really be careful when you pick up fruit at Costco. Examine it, because sometimes it can be overripe or underripe to the point where it can be used. But anyway, that's fast, and I got 67 degrees and it's still sunny outside, so that's pretty good. And boy, it's really been nice on the net so far. And Ron getting his package delivered, I think that's kind of neat, the way of picking it up at his place. And Bob, Barnacle Bob, I like that, being on the beach. That sounded pretty good. And Richard getting the lawn mowed by himself. I gave up mowing the lawn last year, and I've actually hired out getting the lawn mowed, and done that a couple of times already this year. And Wade getting his daughter moved into her own place. Boy, one out of the house already. That's pretty impressive. And Jim, ATV, and a little bit of intermittent coming in. Hopefully maybe that'll stabilize a little bit. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and that's what's happening here in Lake City. So I'll send it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, this is Ron, KD7QKU. I'm waiting to see if my picture comes up. I see my call sign, and it should come up in a minute. Well, you know, I missed being with you guys for 2 or 3 weeks, and I really cherish this time we spend together. You know, we have known each other for a long time now, and for me, this is really special time to hear what you guys are up to and see Bob's pictures. Oh my goodness, the beach is so beautiful, Bob. I love those pictures. And Richard out mowing his lawn, and he's going to the races this weekend, and he got his dialysis arranged down there in California. Richard and Debbie came over and visited us. I guess it was yesterday. I don't think it was Monday. I think it was Tuesday. I think today's Wednesday. Oh my, I hardly know which day of the week it is anymore. And so we had a really nice visit with them. And then we went out to lunch, and we went down on, I guess it's Dock 19, which is down south of the Narrows Bridge on the water. There's a marina and stuff there. It's a really nice place for lunch. So we went down there and had a nice visit, good lunch, good time spent with Richard and Debbie. And then Jim, N7QO, I know how it is. You want these people to work for you, and then they never show up. It seems like that's terrible, but they do it all the time. You can't depend on them most of the time. Let's see, Wade moved his daughter. I did see Wade today. He was going to come over and get a modem or something that I had so he could hook his daughter up to Wi-Fi. I'm not using it now. They have other means here, and it works just fine. And so then my son Ron came, and I forgot all about Wade, and then we got over to the restaurant, and right here in the what they call it, the bistro, it's just in the middle of the complex. And Ron said, "Wasn't your friend coming over?" Oh my golly. Just then Wade texted me and said he was standing out front waiting for me to open the door. So I had to rush back out to the car and rush over and come up and get the stuff. And he came up with me and got it. So I hope he gets her all taken care of. And James, it's fun to see what you're doing. You're always tinkering with something. between you and Carlos, it's pretty amazing what you guys do. And then, let's see, and then Dave, he went to Costco. So those stuffed peppers, I haven't had them from Costco. The other day they were going to have them over here in the restaurant, and we'd been eating dinner over there. And darn if that night we didn't miss them. We did something else. I think we went maybe over to Joanne's sister or something, so I didn't get to eat their stuffed peppers, but I was really looking forward to that. So anyway, what a beautiful day. I'm telling you, it was a gorgeous day, and it was real nice to have. I hadn't seen my son and daughter-in-law since before Thanksgiving because they winter in Quartzsite. They go down there for the winter, and they don't come home till May, so he hadn't been over here since, last fall. So it was really, really nice to see them. So anyway, like I say, I really enjoy the net, and I enjoy you guys, and I look forward to it every time. So back to Dave, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Well, let's go back to Oak Harbor and pick up Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, guys, I thought I'd give you one more shot of myself. Maybe am I lit up better this way? I guess I'm lit up better this way. I'm going to switch the camera around now, and you can see the sun is now down, just down behind the trees there, the tree line. And we had some seagulls nearby, which I was hoping to pick up, but they flew away. Don't know if you can see this, but that little white dot in the sky is the moon. Oh, and here comes a seagull back. Let's see how close I can get before I scare him off. While I'm walking, let me see. I'm trying to remember everything. I'm not taking notes, and it really is a problem for me. Ron, I'm with you 100%. We've known each other a long time, all of us really, and it's just it's a big deal for me, especially after moving, to have this time with friends. So it's very nice. Let's see. Wade, good on you for getting your daughter moved. That's a huge deal. Jim, I think you have it backwards. I don't think you shattered the glass. I think their sacrifice to the crystal gods made your crystal start working again. I mean, that's the obvious answer in my book. What else do I have? I felt like I'm leaving some people out, but that's the problem with not being able to take notes. It is really nice out here, and I'm enjoying it. And I did see pretty sure I saw another seal. It was far enough in the distance, it was really hard to make out, but the head looked very small, too small for a seal, but when it moved for the water, it was making a pretty big wake, so I think it must have been one. What I've been up to, kind of speaking of the same thing with cherishing time, I got inspired a couple days ago and started unpacking things, finally. Or I should say restarted. I did unpack a lot of things, but I restarted. I'm unpacking more things. And these were little keepsakes, a lot of just knickknacks really, but things that we grew up with in our family home. And all of my 6 brothers and sisters are still with us, so we have a group text, and I took a picture of a bunch of little things from Mom and Dad's house that were just everyday things that I hung on to when we split up all the belongings of the house, and everybody really liked that. It brought back a lot of memories for all of us, so that was a fun thing to do. And yeah, I'm actually going to get back at it after the net here and do some more unpacking. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay down here. I'll probably have one more turn. I'll stick around. There's not much of a wind, and I do have another jacket to put on. With the sun down, and even with just the small breeze, it's getting a little chilly, but I do have another jacket I can put on. Okay, I'll send it back to Net Control. This is K9PQ.
9PQ, thanks with that. Let's go pick up Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, yeah. Bob, yeah, the Seagull did a nice pose for us, so that was pretty cool. And Wade, gee whiz, what that brings back memories, setting up my daughter in her first apartment, and my son for that matter. Yeah, oh, those are times to be cherished, especially when they grow up and then my nephrologist is just swinging by. So Doc, we're on the air.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's our WW7 ATS, our repeater. We have a repeater up on Cougar Mountain, and so we meet on Wednesday and Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We've been with these guys for years and years and years and years. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing great. I mowed the lawn today. How do you like that? Yeah. No, thanks. I had to rest. All right. No problem. Hey, thanks for stopping by. All right. Well, that was pretty fun. We got the first-hand action with my kidney doctor. How do you like that? So with that, it looks like it might come back to me again. I don't know. We'll see. This is K7ITX. Back to net control.
Well, let's try Wade, W7ITL, if he's available.
All right, we're back on the air on W7ITL here in North Tacoma. And wow, it is a very nice day. And I will agree with the group and everybody that's kind of talked about it. This is kind of the good times. I do cherish these nets. It's fun to get to know and hear everybody's happenings, what they're doing. And yeah. Besides that, I did say I was going to talk about a few other things. I've been working on some interference issues on the 08 repeater. So that's been part of my new obsession for ham radio, trying to get that figured out. We do have some unknown interference that pops up from here and there. It sounds digital, don't know what it is, and won't say anything about it until I know for sure. But yeah, it's been a great day, great week. Looking forward to next week going to Florida to see the folks. So yeah, summer is just around the corner. So as I said in the last round, I'm going to say my 73 threes, and I'll see you guys maybe this Saturday. So I'll turn it back to our net control, Dave. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, we got your 7-3. Thanks for joining the net this evening. Let's go on to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, shattered glass top. My goodness. I think what Bob said, that I had not thought of that, but that's a far better answer than the remark that I was going to mention. So that's great. Glad that thing is working. It looks pretty cool there. So glad that that's working for you. Dave, stuffed green peppers, yummy, and Costco was crowded. Yeah, I try to go there when I think it's not going to be crowded, and I think sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. I can't make hide nor hair of when exactly it's going to be less crowded. Ron, yeah, I have to echo what everyone else said as well. I don't have a whole lot of time to do amateur radio stuff. Generally, I have tried very hard to stop doing everything whenever these television nets come on. Not always successful in that, but I agree. I have a question. You mentioned the bistros like in the middle of the complex. Just out of curiosity, is there some sort of dining facility in your building, or because you're independent, they expect you to go somewhere else? Just curious if it's raining or storming outside, if you have to leave the building, or just have to get something out of your refrigerator. Bob, scaring off the seagulls. Well, I don't know about in Oak Harbor, but down here around Covington, the seagulls, you can go walking across a parking lot or something, and they will come right up to you, especially if they think you might have a French fry to drop or something. So if you want the seagull to come toward you, I'd say go hike along the waterfront there with a package of French fries and watch them come flocking toward you. Hope it doesn't look like an episode of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, but it seems to work down here in Covington anyway. Let's see, what else? Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Let's go on to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, Dave, I'm synchronizing now. WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Okay, standby one. Apparently, the iPhone app has died here, so let me go over to the computer.
Whiskey Uniform, 7 November. All right. Well, this is now Windows 10 Pro. Where I'm running the Carlos app on, and it seems to be working. I don't know what happened with the iPhone SR app. It kind of just stopped there. It's interesting that I've never held this Logitech camera in my hand before, but I can feel the back of it actually gets pretty warm. Anyway, well, I echo everyone else's sentiments. I do appreciate the time here for twice a week to hear what people are doing, what's going on, and just to share information. Sometimes I get some of the most interesting tidbits out of you guys. Dave, I went to Costco. I guess I deserve this. I forgot it was Monday was Memorial Day, and I went to Costco on Tuesday. Oh my God, what a mob! I ended up just getting some milk and standing in line forever. But every time somebody passed me that was coughing their lungs up, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to get something. I don't like being in Costco when it's super crowded. So yeah, I can relate to that. And yes, I did get the GPS oscillator working for, it's not the National Bureau of Standards. So they say you have to let these things go for at least an hour just to give the GPS satellites and the little microprocessor inside time to sort of synchronize things and get them, on track. But really, if you want to get the really good accuracy, it's not unusual that you have to give it a full day to just calm down, which I remember in the olden days that was true with the tube type stuff that I worked with as a kid, but it surprises me that that's still the case today. And let's see if I can get the picture on here. This is the picture of the GPS discipline frequency counter, and this is 10 is 10 megahertz, and all the zeros to the right, that is the amount of accuracy. So you've got the first 6 zeros to the right of the decimal point, that gets you down to hertz, and then it's tenths and hundredths and thousandths of hertz. And if anybody can tell me what the last 2 on the very far right are, let me know what that would be. I'm going to have to look that up. But that was the best that I got. So we'll see when I put it all back together again. As you can see, it was definitely disassembled. We'll see then if it can still do its thing. Let's see. What else? The pictures of the keepsakes. That is a brilliant idea, Bob. I wish I had taken. We gave away a lot of stuff out of my parents' house, and we were sad that we gave it away. But we should have taken more pictures of it, because we could have said, "Oh yeah, I remember that table," or I would polish it all the time, or those items. Didn't think to do that. So you are on top of everybody else with that. We did save a lot of pictures, and one family member put a lot of effort into putting those pictures on a thumb drive, and then gave those thumb drives to everybody for Christmas, and that was much appreciated to get those old pictures. And on the subject of pictures and cameras, which we're all using tonight, if you follow a guy on YouTube called Curious Droid, Curious D-R-O-I-D, he has come up with a new video on how the CMOS sensor cameras have changed the world in the last 20 years, 25 years now. Time roars on past, but I didn't realize this, but the first camera phones were not in the United States, they were in Japan. And the resolution was absolutely just so he bought them anyway and used them. So anyway, the world's record now for the smallest video camera is about the size of a grain of sand. I don't know what kind of resolution you get out of it. I don't even know how they get the picture out of it. But that is apparently the Guinness World Book of Records, which there's now an entry for that, the smallest video camera. And also, to me, it was just interesting to watch the timeline. So you might want to look up Curious Droid on YouTube and look at his video on just how the CMOS sensor has changed our lives. And it really has. In so many different ways. So, well, anyway, I'm looking at the clock here. It looks like we have 8 minutes left, so I don't want to hog it here. I do appreciate everyone's participation in these nets on Wednesday and Saturday, as I said, just because I always learn something new. So let me turn it back to Dave, our net control. This is WU7N. Appreciate everybody's patience here with my equipment. It does seem to lag a little bit. So I'm going to click the button there.
And back to you, Dave.
WU7N, thanks with that. Boy, talk about cameras. You know, when we switched from film to video, we had 3-chip cameras. And I'll never forget the first week I had the 3-chip camera out in the field. It was an Ikegami, and it was referred to as a handy color looky camera. And anyway, everything was going smooth until we had a thunderstorm in Seattle. And I went outside, and boy, the lightning was coming. I was taking great pictures, and the brightness of the lightning phased out all 3 chips, and the camera went dead. And so I came back to the shop and said, I think I broke it. And they said, yeah, you should never take pictures of lightning. And I said, well, you want this for news? I got to take pictures of what's happening. And so they shook their heads, and they got another block of 3 cameras, chips, and put that up, and we got it going again. But that was kind of interesting. And Wade's daughter, oh my gosh, that brought back some memories in the first place. I remember when I split off from home and got my own place, I had to work, actually a couple of months, so I had enough money for the first and last for the apartment, for the rent. But the interesting thing was, all of a sudden I was going to take a 2-week vacation in the middle of summer, and I thought, oh, this would be great. So I did that, but then it struck me, wait a minute, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and I'm still paying rent? I thought, boy, this wasn't fair. But then I found out, well, that's what life is all about. That was a reality, my first big reality check when I was out on my own. So what it costs to live in the world. So that's about it. So I'm going to send it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave, KD7QKU. Yeah, getting out of the house on your own for the first time, that brought back a lot of memories. This is for Jim, N7QO. So we have full kitchen facilities here. We have a nice stove oven. We have a nice microwave hood over the stove. It has lights in it and fans and everything. Nice dishwasher. And we have big washer and dryer, clothes dryer. They're almost commercial size. The only problem with the dishwasher is it's all digital, and we've had some trouble trying to figure out how to operate it. I think we're going to have, they do have maintenance here, so that we've had the people over twice, I think, at least once, to show us how to operate it. But it's still not really very clear to me, and it isn't to Joanne. I think I'm going to have to go to ChatGPT and see if they have a video on how to do it or something. So, but she's getting the dishes washed all right. But if you touch the thing wrong, it goes into another program, and then we can't cancel it. So the other night it went into this program, and it washed with no dishes in it for 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. I can't remember. So that's just a waste of water and stuff. So we couldn't stop it. We couldn't cancel it. So I don't know. There's something that we don't understand. So anyway, well, it's fun listening to you guys. And yeah, Dave, you brought back a lot of old memories talking about your Como days, and then everybody moving out, or you moved out on your own. Reality sets in. When you have to earn your own money and pay your own bills. I can remember when I paid all my rent and everything, I think that back in those days I only got paid once a month. I think I had like $12 left over to last me for gas and food, groceries. And it's like, how did I live? Anyway, all right, thanks you guys. Back to net 73's KD7 QKU.
KD7 QKU, thanks with that. Well, let's see if Bob's still alive out there on the beach. K9PQ for a final.
I am here, and for my final transmission, I am walking slowly toward a pretty good sized group, about 20 seagulls or so, and let's see how long it takes for them to decide they don't want to be there anymore. Getting pretty close. They're walking away. The nearest ones are, oh, there goes one. One left. The others still, they don't want to be bothered. They're like, hey, I'm hunting here. You're the one that's in the way. Wow, this is getting closer than I thought. There we go. Okay. There we go. Boy, this takes me back. I remember many happy days at the beach as a child chasing the birds until I think they wore me out. Okay, guys. Well, it looks like it's about quitting time. Good talking with you tonight, and we'll catch you the next time. This is K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. And is there anything from anyone before we shut down the net? Hearing none, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. So this terminates our net for the evening. Thanks for tuning in. It's 9 o'clock, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on WW7ATS. Good evening to all. Dave, KD7CYM.
Node 3464272 disconnected.
All right. Well, it looks like he's still connected. I'll call for him.
You sounded A-okay coming through the headphones there. I know what you mean.